Hi Flosstube, I'm Sally. I'm StitchySally here on YouTube and also over on Instagram. Today is Wednesday the 17th of January 2024 and this is Flosstube number 68. I do apologise. I have a lozenge in my mouth because I started filming and I started coughing. So we'll see how I go with this. I have my bottle of ginger, lemon and honey infusion, and I also have a hot chocolate. So we'll see how it goes. I might not be able to finish this, but we'll see. Right, very warm welcome, whether you are a new or a returning viewer. It is lovely to have you here. If you are new and you like what you see, it'd be lovely if you could hit the subscribe button. Also give my video a like, and if you have time, it would be equally as lovely if you would leave me a comment. I do try and reply to all of them and heart them. So I'm going to get on, just in case I end up coughing again. And unfortunately, instead of pausing my recording, I stopped it altogether, so I've had to start again. So this is my planner, and that's where I am at for January. I have managed to stitch every day, and a few times I've stitched a couple of times a day because I've been secret stitching, which I have finished for now. So I have done a couple of FFOs. These were finishes from last year. So the first one is Barb and Anna Designs Dreaming Girls, which is stitched on a 32 count blue Murano, done with DMC, and I've just mounted it into a hoop, backed it with some felt. I do need to put some ribbon on to hang it from, and also I need to stitch a 2023 charm on. I may well tart it up a little bit and maybe put some ribbon or something around here, or some rick-rack. I'll have to have a look and see what I've got. Whoops! And then this one, Blackbird Designs The Long and Winding Road. And you may remember, if you watched me while I was stitching this, this was the bane of my life. I did not enjoy it. I was I didn't want to scrap it because I've done all of the others in the Magical Mystery Tour series, apart from Strawberry Fields, which I have I have kitted up with fabric. I'm hoping to stitch it this year, so I didn't want to scrap it because I want all 6 of them. So again, just simply finished into a hoop. Again, may well tart it up. Need to hang. Put some ribbon on so I can hang it. Right, whips. So I'm just continuing to stitch on my 6 for 60, and then I have the Pilgrim, which is not one of my 6 for 60. So we'll start with those. And the first one, so I've moved this to a Monday now in my rotation instead of a Tuesday, and it's Teresa Kogut with Thy Hands, and I'm stitching this big one here. I am going to do these 2 as well eventually, but this was my actual birthday start. I am using all the call for DMC, and then I have subbed out the 3 weeks dye works for DMC as well, and those are on a set of Charlie Feather's small floss drops. Sorry, I've moved my lozenge. And that was a wee gift from lovely Angela, Mrs. Miggins. And I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage country mocha, and this is there's so much more to this than I don't know why, because when you look at it you can see there's a lot to it, but that is where I am up to. So I've got all of this done under here. I just need to do the fill-ins, the word stitch, and this motif here. I think that's what I've done since you last saw it. And I know this is this floss tube is less than 2 weeks. It's less than 2 weeks since my last one. But I just wanted to get back to filming on a Wednesday if I could. And I didn't want to leave it another few weeks before I filmed. So that is that whip. And then the next one, which is now my Tuesday night whip. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, I'm stitching that with lovely Elaine, Ellie Welly Stitch, and lovely Sally, who is Flossy Sews and Grows, but Sally is stitching Remember Me instead of that one. She was going to stitch the same one, but she couldn't find the chart anywhere in time. So this one is Blackbird Designs Christmas Rose, and this is now my Tuesday night stitch so that I can get back to my Blackbird Designs Tuesdays with my lovely friends Barb and Mouse. And I will link these people below. Not all of them have floss tubes, some of them do, but I'll link, if it's an Instagram account, I'll put their Instagram handle as well in the description box down below. And also stitching this with me is my lovely friend Lainey Main. Steve Riven Hain, he has finished his, and Erin's makes hers is on hold. So I am using the subs off the chart, the DMC substitutes off the chart, the conversion, sorry. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Coffee Craft Fabrics fabric of the month. Doesn't show up terribly well. It's not a bad match actually. But yeah, that's where I'm at now. And I just didn't feel as though I was making much headway on it. I don't know why. It's been the same with most of my 6 for 60 actually. It hasn't felt like I've been making much progress on them. But this one went really well last night. I managed to get 2 of the reindeer done, and this across here, I think that was it. Maybe, oh no, I've got. You can't see them there. That's the only problem. You can't see there. It doesn't really show up terribly well. I think it's DMC 739, that one, and it doesn't show up terribly well on the fabric, but that's fine. I'm not that bothered. It'll be fine. It's only a few bits and pieces I think that that use that. And then my next whip, and I've just had a thought. I have this lozenge and it's going to make my hot chocolate taste really disgusting. I thought that. So the next one is Barbara Anna Designs Dreaming Girl. And as well as this being one of my 6 for 60, it is also for Barbara Anna Wednesdays with my lovely friend Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows. And it's also a lady who watches my floss tubes called Sue. She's also stitching it. I think it's this one. I'm not entirely sure though. It might be another Dreaming Girl. So I'm stitching this in the called for DMC. Do excuse the mess. I don't know how people keep them tidy, to be honest. I really, really do. And they're on a set of another set of floss drops from Charlie Feathers. And this is on an unknown blue fabric from Stash. And that's where I'm at. And I'm really enjoying this. I'm not quite sure what I've done since I last showed this. I think I've filled in some of the darker brown, red, I don't know. And I think I've got one of those fish, I've got it in the wrong colour. I think this one here should have been grey, and I've done it. I've done it in a, should have been a dark grey, and I've done it in a light grey. But I'm not unpicking it, I'm going to leave it. It's fine. It's no big deal. And I have to say, it is cold. We have had a cold spell. It's lovely, don't get me wrong. I'd rather have this than the mild weather and the rain and the dull days that we have had. It's been beautiful. Haven't seen a snowflake, but it's been beautiful. Lovely, lovely for getting out walking in. So my next whip is Stitches Through the Years, Let It Snow. And again, a 6 for 60, but also for Friday Night Sheep stitch with my lovely friend Barb, Batty Bat 210. And I'm also using it for the December sal that my lovely friend Chris, who is Criss Cross Corner, and I do every year. So again, stitching it with DMC. Oh dear. And this is on 40 count vintage country mocha, the same as I've done the autumn and summer one in. And there we are. So the house is finished. I've got the snowman in, I've got the sled, well, part of the sled. And I just love it. Love how it looks. I don't know whether I'm going to get it finished in winter to get it on display, but yeah, it'll be fine. It can go on display next winter instead if I don't. Oh, my finger's gone funny now. Ah, I'm falling to bits. They lock sometimes. At least one of them does, and it's locked and it won't go back. And then my Thursday evening stitch is not one of my 6 for 60. I can't find the chart. And it is this one, which is Long Dog Samplers, the Pilgrim, which is my first long dog. And Amanda Alba Stitcher, she was starting her first, so I said I would like to stitch along with you, and I also started it for Elaine Elliwally Stitcher's 60th birthday. So the hashtag that I'm using with Amanda is my first long dog Sal. So there are quite a few people stitching along. There's Amanda, Dawn, Liz, Barb, Kate, Lindsay, Sue, and then the hashtag with Elaine and Alison the Stitching Whippet is Let's Get the Dogs Out Sal. And I'm really, really enjoying this. It does take some stitching. I did have a bit of an issue with it, and I had to unpick a few bits, but it was only the tiniest little bit. And for any of you in the UK who are watching the Traitors, you'll know why I made a bit of a mistake. Didn't watch the first series, but going to go back, actually, I think, and get it on iPlayer and watch it. Anyway, Pilgrim. I'm using Anchor Black. I am using DMC white for some of the back stitch, and that does not look like that at all. It is Weeks Dye Works Purple Majesty, and I'm going to use that for the words. And I'm stitching it on a 20 count Balana, and I think, oh dear, that's the wrong way around. You're not going to see much at it looking like that. In an off, I think it's an off-white. Sorry, it's a huge piece of fabric, just trying to handle it. So there we go. Ah! There we go, that's better. So yeah, getting on quite well with this actually. So this was somewhere in here, I think. I might have talked about this actually the last time I filmed. I probably did, because I think I'd maybe done it then. Yeah, I just got a bit mixed up. So for the rest of this, I was just trying to mark off what I'd already done on my working copy. So I think what I'm going to do is work my way up here. There's a reindeer up here, and then I can move on to page 2. That's a few weeks away yet, though, I hasten to add. It is not going to be anytime soon. And then the next one, nope, this one. I'm just trying to do them in the order that I stitched them during the week. The next one is this one, which is Stacy Nash Designs Wonderful Life Pinkeep Drum. I'm stitching this with Andrea Heath 369 on Instagram. And I have done an online conversion to DMC. And I'm stitching this on 36 count summer khaki. I always forget the name of this fabric. And would you look at that, the house is nearly done. Hopefully, when I pick this up on Saturday, the house will be done. I have the chimneys at the two ends to do, and then just to fill in the rest of the white, and I think there's a bit of filling on the wreath on the door. But yeah, absolutely loving this. Even though, oh, I've got some backstitch to do as well. Even though that house has really took some stitching, it's a huge house. Not as bad as the big ass pink house that I was doing. But yeah. And my final whip, as I still haven't stitched on Guardian. I have finished the gridding on it so that I can pick it up again. But just not got to it yet. So final whip is Rebel Stitcher Designs Happily Ever After, and Ruth, lovely Ruth Country Gal 854 is stitching this with me. Really enjoy this. So I did a conversion because I think it's, what is it? It's Classic Colourworks that it's stitched in, and there isn't a conversion on the chart, so I've just had a look online and converted. And I'm stitching this on a 36 count Coffee Craft Fabrics Fabric of the Month. And I did forget to say on the other one, Megan doesn't name her fabrics. And that's where I am. So I've done a little bit of the border. I thought I'll maybe try and do a bit of border as I go along. And I've started the peacock there underneath the house. And I love this. The fabric doesn't show up very well actually. It does have a bit of a pinky tone to it. But yeah, love that. It's such a fun little stitch as well. They've got loads of little motifs on it. So that's it for whips. So we'll go on to haul. As I've said before, I am trying not to buy so much and stitch from what I've got. So these things were ordered late in December. So this first one I did an order with 123 Stitch, and this first one is the fault of Yoanita Stitchy Things. Lovely Yoanita. Now, if you were with me in December, you will know that for my 60th birthday, my family, my husband and my 2 daughters, booked for me to, well, for us to go alpaca trekking. Absolutely loved it. I've said I've wanted to do it for my 60th birthday for quite a number of years, and they made my dream come true. So I've been looking for something that I could stitch. Hadn't really seen anything that particularly took my fancy, and then Yoanita showed this, and it is the Blue Flower Alpaca Farm. And as you can see, there's 4 alpacas on it, so they will represent the 4 alpacas that we walked. And I will make some changes to the colours, because we had 2 black ones, a cream one, and then there was one that was sort of this colour, but he was more this size, so I'll probably do that one that colour, probably keep this one that colour, and then do the other 2 in either a dark grey, probably a dark grey. So yeah, I got that. So thank you, Yoanita, for showing that. She was talking about me enabling her with the World of Cross Stitch, and I can't remember which issue it was. It was the one with the Rendale calendar in it. So yeah, you got me back. So I got that one. I would like to stitch it this year. I don't know. I'm hoping I will, and I think I've got some fabric in my stash. However, one chart simply cannot travel alone. So I ordered some Picture This Plus fabric. So this one is 36 count opal, and it's a 12 by 17 piece. And that's not showing it too badly actually. Maybe not quite as brown, it's got more of a, I don't know really, I don't know what you'd what you'd call it, but I took a fancy to that. And then I just added some Peacemaker needles, because these are my favourites. Size 28. So that was that little bit of haul from 123 Stitch, and I did pay for that with some money that I had in my PayPal. And then I had an email from Maloka Designs, because I've never purchased from them before. I think I signed up for their newsletter when they were doing the free stitch along, which was the squirrel. I've got it all saved, I've just never stitched it. So yeah, I had an email with a discount. So I got this, the Mandala Robin. Very, very cute. I've looked at that so many times. yeah, there was a freebie in there as well. It's a Mandala corgi, and Abby she loves corgis, so I think I might have to stitch that for her. Or maybe she could stitch it for herself. She's actually picked up her stitching again. What's she doing? A polar bear. One of the... Oh, they're the clothed animals. I think she's a Ukrainian designer. Cannot remember her name for the life of me. But she's done a few. If you've watched me before, you'll have seen them. And then you may remember me saying that I'd had a gift voucher for Fobbles from a lovely lady who watches my floss tube. And it was my lovely friend Chris who actually helps me make up my mind what I was going to get with this gift voucher, because she'd found something in her stash that she wanted to do for our next December sale, and it was, oh yeah, I really like that, let me have a look, I might get that. So I did. So this is Shepherd's Bush Holly and Ivy, which I'm so sure many of you will have seen before. So that's what I bought with my Fobbles gift voucher, and it's the kit. I just had a small amount to put to it, so that's going to be our December sale. Right, let's see if I can get through the rest of this. Not much more to go. Yeah, so Chris and I are going to do that for our December sale, unless we decide that we can't wait that long. We did kind of toy with maybe Christmas in July. We'll see. Right. Plans, I'm just going to keep on with, obviously, my 6 for 60. I am kind of feeling a little bit snowed under with it. As I said in my last floss tube, I do wish that I'd chosen maybe 3 smalls and then 3 slightly bigger ones, but it is what it is. I'm enjoying it, but I am just feeling a teeny weeny bit snowed under because I just want to have a new start. But regardless, I am having one on the 1st of February because Dawn and I are starting. Dawn, who is Frosty X Stitch, we're starting Remember Me by Scattered Seed Samplings, and I'm really looking forward to that. And if you've never watched Dawn before, do go and watch her. She's absolutely lovely. Love watching Dawn. Lovely person, so yeah. And I'm sure you will all know that Sarah of Sew Me Sarah and Sally of Flossie Sews and Grows are doing are doing 50 new starts for their 50th year this year. And I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think the hashtag is Fun for 50 Sal, but I will put it down below. So I'm hoping to maybe take part in that with them, not the full 50 obviously, but hopefully just start 1 or 2 pieces to join in the fun with them. I did say to Sally, because Sally was talking about starting Garden of Dreams, Barbara Anna, and I said I would start that with her if I finish my Dreaming Girl, but I don't think I'll have finished my Dreaming Girl. So that is that. Right, a giveaway. So I would like to give away this chart. It's Yasmin's Made with Love, the Light of the Christmas Star. Angela actually won this, Mrs. Miggins, in one of Yaz's giveaways, and she'd already purchased it, so she asked Yaz to very kindly send it to me, so we stitched along with it, and now I would like to pass this on. I have asked Yaz's permission to give it away. So if you could use the word star, if you would like to win this, don't say giveaway, competition or anything like that, that'll get the trolls along. think it's going to have to be UK only, I'm afraid. I'm not quite sure how much it would cost to post overseas, but I get a feeling it would be a little bit too much, and it's more or less the same if I post to Europe or whether I post to the USA, it costs the same. So yeah, I think it's going to have to be UK only, and I will pick a winner for that next time I film in a couple of weeks' time. So if you could just use the word star in your comment, you don't have to make a sentence, just use the word. So yeah, I think that is it. I haven't spent my gift voucher that I received for Peakside Needleworks yet. I haven't quite made up my mind what I want to get with it. So I might have spent it by the next time I film, I might not. So the only thing, as you can tell, I'm still coughing. Nearly 5 weeks now since I went down with the cold virus, and it's left me with this tickly cough. And I am just coughing and coughing and coughing until I feel as though I can't cough anymore. And I'm coughing hard at times as well, which is not good because it's hurting my throat, it's up into my ears. I have been to the doctors. I went today. I did feel like it was going, and then it started up again. I can go for hours and not cough. And then all of a sudden I get a tickle in my throat and I'm gone. But my chest's clear, my throat's fine. So it is just basically carry on with over-the-counter remedies. So I've got Covernia for a dry tickly cough. I've got, and I don't know whether I said this before because obviously I had to start filming again because instead of pausing it, I stopped it. And I don't edit. I've got a lemon, honey and ginger infusion that I fill my bottle with. I drink this bottle, keeps it warm for quite a long time, and I just have a drink of that. And I've got Jakeman's lozenges. As you could tell, I do apologise for having one of those in my mouth while I was filming, but it does stop me coughing for a while. So yes, if I haven't got rid of it in another couple of weeks, I have to go back and they'll refer me for a chest x-ray, even though my chest's fine. She did say my pulse was a bit high. She took my pulse and my blood pressure, and they were both high. And I said, that's because I'm here. But she's told me to keep an eye on my blood pressure. I know full well it's because I'm there. It happens every time. Doctors, dentist, opticians. I get myself in a state, so I knew. But yeah, she did say that they're seeing a lot of people with the same thing and it can last up to 8 weeks. And I'm like, I don't think I can stand another 2 weeks, at least 2 weeks of this. But anyway, so you may remember as well that Jess had an appointment at the fatigue clinic last year and she couldn't go because of her anxiety. Well, she made it. So proud of her. She made it. Last week? Yes, last week. She doesn't have chronic fatigue, which the doctor said was a good thing because a lot of the time, if you go with anything else, doctors will just see that you have chronic fatigue and they'll go, it must be a chronic fatigue, rather than looking further into it. She thinks it is either psychological or autoimmune. Immune? I can't say it. So, she wants our surgery to do more blood tests because she said there was more tests that they could have done, more blood tests that they could have done. And the doctor that she saw at our surgery, she'd had quite a lot of blood tests. This is going back a couple of years ago now. And he said that her anti-inflammatory markers must just be naturally high. And the doctor she saw at the fatigue clinic said that's a load of rubbish. So yeah, she's just waiting now to get her letter, and then she can go back to the surgery and get these blood tests done and see what they say. So yeah, that's Jess up to now. She does have an appointment. It'll be a video appointment, I think she said, with psychology, I think, to see if she has ADHD or possibly autism. There's definitely something, but just what? Don't know. And this doctor that she saw at the fatigue clinic did say that all of that could be something to do with fatigue. But we'll just see. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm waffling and I don't want to start coughing again. I hope you've enjoyed this. As I say, I do apologise. I do apologise for the coughing and I apologise for having to have a lozenge in my mouth. But I wanted to get this done today and try and get back on track. My last floss tube, I don't know what happened with my last floss tube, but it wasn't very particularly well received. My views were well down. But it happens sometimes. It can be a bit disheartening at times. I do try not to think about it, but sometimes you just get to the stage where you think, shall I not bother? I mean, it was still 300 odd views. 300 odd views is better than nothing at all. But that's just me. So I will see you in a couple of weeks' time, and hopefully I will have stopped coughing by then. Because it's just starting to, well, I won't say starting to because it's just getting me down. Even though I'm not coughing all day. Like I say, I can go for hours. But anyway, enough's enough, and I am going to go and let you go. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've made it this far. Please don't let the chaos put you off. Please do keep coming back. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time. Take care, everybody. Enjoy every single stitch, and thank you so much again for watching. Bye.